Look at the little man.
Let's move us over here. Yeah, you said this story today.
Yes, it's a sad story.
Two people are arrested. Third sought after deadly fentanyl exposure at a Bronx daycare.
This is truly stupid.
2 suspects have been charged with murder after another person is sought by police on a deadly fentanyl exposure at a daycare in the Bronx. First responders were summoned on Friday afternoon to Divino Nino Daycare on 27, they get everything, 07 Morris Avenue in Kingsbridge for
reports. Because she has to take actual business.
Reports of cardiac arrest. Nicholas Demenci, that little one right there,
cute little man,
died Friday after police say he was exposed to fentanyl that was in the daycare.
Yes.
3 other children were hospitalized.
Thank you. Oh, I want to just reach
through Authorities say drug production equipment and a kilo of fentanyl were found inside the home-based daycare. Mm-hmm. Detectives believe the children inhaled the fentanyl particles during the day-long exposure.
Mm-hmm. In the daycare.
On Friday.
In her house.
Carlisto Brito, 41, and Gria Mendez, 36, were dealt 11 charges, including murder, manslaughter, and assault. Police are still looking for Mendez's husband on Monday for questioning. See, that's not a man that protects you and takes care of you. But he's making some money off of fentanyl. Lord. Officials say Brito is a tenant who was renting a room for Mendez. Brito is the cousin of Mendez's husband. Prosecutors said the kilo of fentanyl was found in a hallway closet outside the Brito's room. And they say Mendez participated in the reckless, depraved act by renting him the room in the daycare. She probably didn't think nothing was going to happen because she was renting him a room to do his drugs in. Mm-hmm. Not thinking that those particles come through the thing.
Yes.
People are stupid.
And she has a daycare.
Mendez's attorney said she was unaware drugs were being stored in her daycare by her husband's cousin. She says she didn't know he was storing it there.
Yeah, right.
He was renting the room for $200 a week. Her only crime was renting her room to someone who had a kilo. That's what her attorney said. Oh. There is no evidence that she did anything but care properly for these children. So, okay, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. Mm-hmm. If any of those guys say she knew about it, that's sorry.
She's done.
But if she just rented him a room for $200 and she don't know this is just for you in there, that's your room, whatever you do, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Then she could say, I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Detectives have learned that Mendez talked to her husband several times in the immediate aftermath of Friday's tragedy. They say they have also recovered video of both the husband and other people fleeing the daycare with bags of unknown contents in the initial confusion. Officials say the children ate something around 1 p.m. Friday and took a nap. When workers went to wake them up at 2:30, 3 were unconscious. Mm-hmm. And this little boy right here was pronounced dead.
I think he went home and he was acting weird.
The 2-year-old boy remains in critical condition. An 8-month-old girl and another 2-year-old boy were also rushed to the hospital and all they're in stable condition.
She need to be put under the prison.
Now, this is the one you talking about. Mm-hmm. One of the 2-year-old boys, Jalise Lino, actually went home at around 12:15 Friday and was later found by his mother to be acting unresponsive. His mother rushed him to the hospital where the opioid reversal medication, Narcan, it saved his life. That's not this one. This one passed away. Mm-hmm. He didn't go home. He never woke up from his nap.
That's sad.
His father said it is a miracle that he survived the fentanyl exposure, the one that came home. Mm-hmm. He said, now looking back, he finds it suspicious that there were 3 men standing outside the daycare that Thursday and that Friday. The medical examiner will conduct an autopsy to determine Demenci's cause of death. I love him. I miss him. I want him back. But there's nothing that will give me back my son. When I come home from work and walk through the door, he say, "Daddy, Daddy." That's what his father said. With watery eyes and a heavy heart, Felice is mourning and processing how he lost his son at a place he assumed was safe.
Daycare.
My wife was on her way to the daycare. She was going to pick him up early. Shortly before she arrives, she receives the call and also sees the ambulance outside.
These are the situations where you like, officers, hold me down.
Well, look at
because
this.
I'm about to take her life.
The daycare opened in January, and it just passed a surprise visit.
Yes, it did.
From a city inspector last week with no violations.
No violations. They showed the place on the news when they walked through where they were setting up the stuff, the drugs and stuff, and doing whatever they do with it. And the place was kind of messy. So she's really going to have to prove
that she didn't know. It says after the children were removed from the daycare, the fire department tested the air for environmental hazards and found no evidence of carbon monoxide. Officials then began to suspect that something else was going on. Opioid exposure, and executed a search warrant to search the other rooms. That's when they found the other stuff. So they thought it was carbon monoxide.
Can y'all imagine a daycare exposed all these kids?
And they go to sleep.
And you have all these kids in your care. Every parent is going, he okay, she okay, she at the daycare. She at the daycare.
And you don't smell that fentanyl, I don't think. It's like carbon monoxide.
That's sad. When I heard this story, y'all, a tear came to my eye. I was so mad at that lady and her boyfriend and her husband's friend, whatever.
Thank you, cousin.
And I saw this little boy in his tie.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to just reach through the TV.
And all the other kids.
All the children, but this one has to be a photo of it.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yes, it is. And she will have to learn. I don't know how she will learn, but.
All right. United Auto Workers strike day number 4.
They may have to pull out the big guns, and all of them have to.
General Motors threatens to send 2,000 workers home. Ford cut 600 jobs. So what they